Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from SethMarkwood.com.
Together along with you, the three of us were Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Welcome back once again to Tobacco Ad 2020, Day 25. And you know what that is?
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Coming at you.
Oh, it's good to have you here today. I'm assuming that all the gifts are unwrapped now and the family is doing something in the other room. Is that how this is being watched?
I am probably. Or for some of you, it's just a morning bathroom visit. Whatever.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Good to have you
know,
here.
Glad to start your day off right. Markwood's Breakfast Club in the morning.
Chad, don't forget to think of me.
Weird. Today's tobacco was submitted by Aaron. Aaron said, "Hope you enjoy. Happy holidays." This came straight delivered from Pipes and Cigars.
So,
and what is it?
McBaren Mixture Scottish.
Ooh.
Scottish. So thank you, Aaron. I tell you, I'm becoming a real fan of this idea, because I know what a pain it is to portion out some of your own tobacco and get it all ready to ship and get addresses and all that. Just you go to a website, you punch the stuff in, you pick an ounce of what you like and send it. Next year, we don't need it this year. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this ooh, I like that.
This, you know what though, the way that this is cut, it deserves to be in a bigger pipe. We're smoking these in cornaments, and the cornaments is it's a smaller pipe, but that's got a cut that is just screaming for something like a. Are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't just talk about it before I've packed my pipe. Like
it's screaming for a bigger chamber.
Yeah, I was picking up what you were putting down. Yeah, let's just get this out of the way right now.
Scottish.
It smells nice.
I don't know if you remember when the European Union happened. One of the things that they did was
I don't remember that.
They set out some rules for tobacco, and one of the things that they said is you could not describe a level of mildness. You couldn't attribute that to a pipe on a label. And McBaren had a great tobacco called Mixture Mild. So they had to change the name of that, and they changed it to Mixture Modern, and then there's variants on that. Well, JR Cigar bought every tin they could get of Mixture Mild and put it on clearance. And I bought probably 10, 20 tins of that. I mean, I had a lot of it, and it's long gone now. But that was like $2 a tin.
And is that a Scottish?
McBaren? Well, you know, McBaren and Sutliff are...
No, I'm just curious what prompted that story.
This is McBaren Mixture Scottish. That was McBaren Mixture Mild. No, it was McBaren, Mixture Mild, and it became McBaren Mixture Modern. It confused me.
Well, I started off being the confused one,
So, Merry Christmas, boy.
Sharing the wealth. Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
Oh, it is. I'm glad that it's here. It has been a great year. It's been another great tobacco advent in the books. It's wild that this is the 8th year as we concluded. So this is beyond episode 200 of just the tobacco advent videos. Thank you for everybody who has been with us for a long time, been with us for a short time, just joined us this year for the first year. We appreciate you choosing to spend your time with us, and hopefully you have enjoyed and have submitted some video responses. And as always, a huge thanks to everyone that has submitted tobacco. You will should keep an eye out for the ornament and 3D printed ornament sometime before next Christmas. It will be on your 2021 Christmas tree. I mean, if you want to put it there.
Well,
definitely don't
by
smoke
law, is where it's supposed to be, right?
I mean, you don't have to put the ornament on. You don't have to put all of the ornaments on your tree.
Well, it does have to be displayed somewhere. That's the law.
Well, is that the law? Okay. Well, I didn't know. It's been a while since I've brushed up.
So yeah, you will get 3D printed ornament. You'll get a cornament, and thank you, folks who have sent us tobacco. Now, we do believe that there's probably a couple more tobaccos that are going to trickle in. We will smoke those throughout the year, but we will also send a cornament and an ornament, a bonus, since it won't have the day on the bottom, a bonus cornament to the people who have sent us a tobacco with the intention of being included in Tobacco Advent. So there'll be some bonus ones. Thank you, which means you have more than 25 of these to print.
Yeah. That's all right. I knew that. I've got my 3D printers working now, so hopefully we won't have the same issues we had last year.
Yeah.
In fact, we were unsure of how things were going to turn out this year, and so we purchased a tobacco that we had planned to smoke today, and didn't, because clearly are not, because we received enough, and so we'll be smoking. What is that?
I believe it's Christmas Day, isn't it?
It is Sutliff's Christmas Flake. Christmas Flake Holiday Edition 2020, Black and Red Virginia with 17-year-old Perique. So we'll be getting into this sometime early next year. But man,
You know how much I love
I know.
Perique.
So let's see. Earlier in the year, you didn't have a knee surgery this year. That was all last
That's
year, right?
Yeah.
But early in the year, we started off with last year's Tobacco Advent tobaccos that we hadn't smoked. Then we got shut down and started doing live streaming, which was just awesome. Then we started meeting again together in the shop and doing some live videos then, and pre-recorded things then, and then we kind of fell off the face of the earth, and we're glad to be back last month and this month. It has just been a crazy year in life, in the country, and on YouTube.
World?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been a wild year. Happy to see this one going into the history books. Hopefully 2021 will be our best year ever. It's our hope and our prayer for all of you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you lost friends or loved ones this last year. I think we all know somebody who at least lost somebody.
Or a job, or
yeah,
opportunities, or
a lot of ways, very, very sucky year. But we're together, and we're happy to be with you, and thank you for being with us this year.
So as we like to do on Christmas Day, as has become a tradition, as we get asked, what is it that you, why do you do Tobacco Advent? Why do you do this channel? Clearly we enjoy hanging out. But most importantly, what does Christmas mean to you? And I don't think it's any surprise if you watched the channel for a length of time to know that we are both Christians and men of faith, and so that this day carries a special meaning for us. Homer, what's that meaning? Why do we care?
Well, it is the day of the year, and hopefully more than just one day of the year, but specifically the day of the year that we celebrate the birth of our Savior. Of course, Jesus was not born on the 25th of December. That concept didn't occur back to the folks back then, but that day was chosen and set aside as a day for us to remember that God reached out to us and sent His Son, ultimately to fulfill that requirement that we owed to cover our sins. So we can talk about that around Easter time, but right now we are thankful for the life that Jesus led and the example that He gave to us, and the lessons that we learned from the life of Jesus.
Our pastor had some incredible insight. something that hearing it sounds and feels so obvious, but really is for me kind of a new way of looking at things. Anybody who has studied the appearances of angels in Scripture knows that one of the kind of telltale signs is one of the very first words out of their mouth is "Don't be afraid," right? Because if you look at actual descriptions of angels, they're not cherubs, they're not babies, they're not
dead people.
They're not dead people. They're not these beautiful figures. There are some real terrifying descriptions, but it's awe-inspiring. And so, the do not be afraid has always been attributed to that. But our pastor was talking about how when angels appeared to shepherds about Jesus and God is here is the message that they came with, that there probably was an element of that fear that stems from oh no, we're in trouble.
The day of reckoning is at hand, right?
Right. I mean, if somebody showed up and told you, "Hey, God's here," you're like, "Oh, I've not been living how I ought," and man, what is
look busy?
Yeah, that's right. And he points out, going back to the garden, that after sin, God showing up led to immediate fear and hiding for Adam and Eve. There was shame involved in that, and that is an easy thing for us to do because we know deep down that we're not perfect and that we're not deserving of God being in our presence, let alone the sacrificial gift of coming to earth in our stead. And
stead, that's a fancy word.
Steed, it's derived from horses. And in our place, we're imperfect and as such can't have a perfect relationship with God, but by coming to earth and then dying a death that we deserve, as a stand-in sacrifice, we're able to accept that and have a restored relationship with God. And that's something that is far and beyond anything that we could deserve or have any right to ask for, and it was given to us, and it's a gift that is extended to any who wish to receive it.
And then at that point we become perfect, right? As Christians, we're perfect.
And
now we can sit in judgment of other people too, right? That's a big important role that we play in our society.
Well, if you ask some, yeah. I mean, if you believe the Christians on Facebook, you might come to that conclusion. No, we're screwed up. We're still screwed up, but we are being reconciled. We're becoming, hopefully, more and more like Christ, and more like God would have us to be before we kind of stumbled into all of the brokenness. And so, the world is broken. We're broken humans. But those of us, the misconception is that you have to be perfect to be in God's good graces. And the reality is God extends grace. God extends, what's the other word? There's grace and there is mercy. Grace is what happens if you wreck your friend's car and your friend says, "It's okay, I forgive you." That's grace. Mercy is what happens when you wreck your friend's car and your friend says, "I forgive you, and I'm going to cover the whole cost of the repair." You're completely off the hook. God, for us, being sinful, doesn't just extend grace to us and say, "Hey, you have." When we sin, we're committing an offense against God. He doesn't just say, "Hey, your offense is forgiven," because there's still a price for that offense. That price is what Jesus came to pay. And so it is both grace that he extends to us and mercy that he extends to us. He says, you are forgiven, and the price of that has been totally paid. And so that's what we
It's a
celebrate.
great deal, actually.
It's really good for us, yeah. It's better than Amazon's return policy. And so that's what we celebrate. And there's a weird, I don't know, you could call it tension. It's just weird. It's weird that we celebrate a baby that came so that baby's purpose would be to die someday, so that we could receive that grace and that mercy. But that's what we celebrate. And that wasn't our decision. That was something that was extended to us. And so I certainly am happy that God made that call on my behalf.
Yeah.
So.
And obviously, there's more to that story. You mentioned Adam and Eve and the fall of man beginning, and there was also an attempt in the Old Testament for God to reconcile mankind through Abraham, and there's a lot to this story, and we don't cover it all in Markwood Men's Breakfast Club, believe it or not. But if you're at all curious about this thing that we've got, and we're pretty fortunate, count ourselves lucky to be Christians. I would encourage you to seek out somebody who maybe could talk you through it. We had the question earlier this season asking about some advice we would give a young dad. Best thing you could do is to get right with God and raise your family in a godly family, and that would be our wish for you. So.
It's certainly having that relationship certainly makes years like 2020 and times where things are tough more manageable and easier, it gives you a community to be a part of. So whichever part of our community you are a part of, we are thankful for you, and I want to just end the year saying thank you for joining us over the last 25 days. This is the last you'll hear from us until the new year. Just hearts full of gratitude for all of you and your generosity of comments, of videos, of time, of tobacco, and so just thank you.
And we will be back at some point on a regular basis on Wednesdays, and we look forward to spending that time with you.
So if you haven't yet, like and subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified when that happens.
And we'll also do the drawing for the Cobbett Pipe in a couple days. At the moment of us recording this, I'm not sure when we'll do that, but it'll be this year, and we'll do that drawing and let you know on this channel who our winner is. Thanks for participating in the video response activity, and for all that you guys do to help as an important third, a critical third, really, of Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. We really appreciate you.
And so we don't get crap about it. I like the tobacco.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending that over.
That was great. Thank you very much.
Great way to end the year.
Thank you, Eric. All right, guys, make it a great day. Make it a great new year, and we will see you again next year.
See ya.